This is my third episode English recording. This is when speaking and not running the way that we run this project before, like a video. Today we're gonna run like a radio. So today's topic we will talk about Japanese heritage spots in Hualien. Why I choose Hualien? Because directly I'm the local in Hualien. I was born in Hualien. I grew up in Hualien. I studied in Hualien. So I kind of want to discover another way to travel in Hualien, so I choose Japanese heritage spots in Hualien. Most people come to Hualien, they would just think about, whoa, the natural spots. Absolutely. Look at the picture. This is the picture of Huadong Zhonggu. And you can see the mountain, the sky, the cloud, and also the lots of rice farm. People just coming to here just for the natural spots. I think only like the Liri Lake is really famous for you can just take a boat and enjoy this view in the center of the lake. There are lots of tourists doing this, and if you ask me I'm if I wouldn't go into this kind of space in person, I would say yes. Every weekend I go there to have my leisure time, like the tourists. And this picture is the photo in Tan, is quite famous for because the big bay that is seldom appear in Taiwan. Another stupid question they will ask, does it look the same in real like the photo just taken? I would say yes, definitely. This is not by the Photoshop. Every photo is just so real in my mind compared to the real one we see in person. And kind of coming to another question is there any other way that can travel that can visit in Hualien? Any other representing spots that can represent Hualien? The first view I came into is the quite a lot of Japanese style building in Hualien. I don't know why. Probably people in Hualien just kind of prefer Japanese style building. But some of are the heritage one left by the Japanese in the colonization term. They just rebuild it just for their own house. And so today I would choose Japanese heritage spots. This kind of more special way to travel in Hualien. If I would choose, I would pick these two spots. The first one would be Qingxiu. And first, if we try to talk about the history of this building, of course, we need to talk about the history of this building because this is the heritage spot. We need to trace back to 1908. One of the Taiwanese Aboriginal tribes called Ameizu, I think lots of people have heard of that, were originally living here. And when the Japanese take over the control of the whole part of Taiwan, which we know is the turn of Japanese colonization of Taiwan. And meanwhile, Ameizu didn't pay this check. They were not satisfied why they should move their tribes to southern part of Hualien just because the Japanese were immigrating to here. Thus, they had a battle called 七角川事件, where was really near to Qingxiu. And unfortunately, the result of this battle turned out that the Aboriginal Ameizu moved to Taitung, and the Japanese started the immigration policy, attracting more Japanese to come to Hualien in order to develop this land. And meanwhile, a place called Jiechuan in Shikoku, 四国县 in Japan, they were having severe flooding. And people got hard and tough living at that moment. So the government decided to open more exchanging terms for the Japanese are more willing to immigrate to Hualien. When the people asked for land, the government gave. When the people asked for houses, the government gave for free. When the people asked for the farming tools, the government gave all they needed. Lots of Japanese living in Jiechuan were immigrating to here, and the name of here was so-called Jie, turned to be Jian nowadays. And also, I was live in Jian. This heritage spot is, I think, is quite small. There's not so much to talk about. The founder of this temple basically want to comfort the mind of the people immigrate from Japan because this is not their homeland, right? they have a little school here. The government will send teachers here and teach you some basic knowledge to the villagers, and also have some clinic taking care of the health of the villagers. I would say this is quite familiar to the Qinshui Zushi Temple, and this is the Japanese, and Qinshui Zushi Temple will be the Taiwanese one. And one of the most biggest characteristic of Qingxiu would be the 88 stone Buddha statues represented 88 kinds of warriors. Why will I say that? Because the founder of this temple, he wants to comfort the mind of the villagers, like we just said before. So he traveled in Shikugo, Shiguo Xian, every kind of temple and gather most of the Buddha statues from each temple. And so-called there are 88 stone Buddha statues representing 88 kinds of people would have 80 kinds of worries people would have. So if you have any kinds of problem, you can just go there, and probably I think you can find your problem classified into a specific Buddha status, and you can also go there and probably ask for comfort or answer. So if you visit there, I would say this is the most biggest characteristic you shouldn't miss, I think. And why I choose Qingxiuyuan because I'm not knowing Qingxiuyuan when I was until high school. And it is really near my home, and that is so ridiculous that I didn't recognize. I there's a Japanese heritage spots near my home. I would say these spots to the premier travelers where they travel to Huadian because this is not so famous. This would be the secret place for visiting, and also Qingxiuyuan has been classified in Sanji Guji in Taiwan. And the second one, Japanese heritage spots everyone would know about, I think, is Songyuan Big One because Songyuan Big One is more famous than Qingxiuyuan. This is also built by Japanese in 1942, and it is still existing now. And I like to go there because the nature spot is so beautiful. And guess what? This is the view that you if you go in there, you can have this kind of fantastic view. And this building, Songyuan Bieguan, is the built on the top of the mountain called Meilun and used to be the Japanese military commanding center. And this reason would be is imaginable because this spot is so good. It's a perfect observation point for military use because you can observe the Pacific Ocean if there's any kind of boat just passing by, or the sky and or any movement on the ground. I would say this is the perfect observation point. And not only for the observation point, also most people heard about Songyuan Big One because of the ghost story. Can relate it to a reasonable reason is that this building is used for in the colonization of Japan in Taiwan. And the 射锋特工队 is really famous because this military group is they have to do a mission and just like a suiciding mission. Before they started their mission, they have to drink a kind of wine called 御前酒, are provided by the Emperor of Japan. In other words, if they drink this kind of wine, 御前酒, that means they will not come back anymore. I think the probable reason I can imagine to explain why there are so lot of ghost story happening here. So traveling, I was not just limited to discovering culturing, but also finding people, finding some strangers that can share my story, and also they can share their stories with me. And that's my point of view towards traveling. And thank you for your listening. That's the end of my recording.